The weather report for tomorrow is absolute bab. Rather than lose my last 2 hours of remaining light, I'm going to a place called Middle Black Clough Waterfall. Good evening. Full disclosure, this is the second time I've tried to shoot this video. I'll tell you why. First reason being, work finished on Friday. I was up in the Edinburgh area, so I had a nice long drive home in the wet, so that took 6 hours as opposed to the usual 4 and a bit. So I was knackered when I got in. Angry wife has flown back to the Czech Republic for a week, spend some time with the family. They do this kind of celebration of souls thing on November the 1st, which is lovely. She reminded me when I got in on Friday, we're up at 4:30, remember, we were at the airport. I was like, right, okay. So 4:30 I was up, did the obligatory airport run, and I was like a zombie for the rest of the day. However, I didn't let that stop me. In fact, let me rephrase that. It wasn't that stopped me. So I takes angry wife, comes home, does the good husband bit, fix myself a bit of late breakfast or brunch. And I think, you know what? I'm going to push out and get some videos. It's local to where I live, it's half an hour in the car, if that. And normally you can pull into like this little off-road car park, but this time there's a barrier down. All right. So I goes looking for laybys, and with it being the weekend, every single layby is rammed. Of course it's rammed. It's the working man or working woman's, it's their day off. They work Monday to Friday, it's their weekend off. I can't complain, people want to get out, I get it. Anyway, so I follows the road down a bit further, 6 miles. Found parking, thought this is not happening. So I think, blow this, I'll carry on, I'll go to Windscar Reservoir. Drives up, pulls up Windscar, great. Bit windy, luckily I brought the Air 2S that handles the wind better than the Mini 4. Some really interesting rock formations on the side of Windscar due to the drought we've had recently. I'll fly the drone over there, gets a warning. Warning says, DJI account not logged in. Okay, you might think, no drama, no problem. So did I. Clicks on the remote, I'll look around, no Wi-Fi, no signal. Okay, let's Bluetooth it to my phone then. Bluetooth it to my phone, no signal, no reception, no nothing around Windscar. I was limited, I think it's 50 metres out, 30 metres up. I thought, this is no good, I can't do it. With all best intentions, it was all set against me, so I thought, I'm going home. Sunday's weather forecast was just rain and wind and whatnot, so I figured Sunday is Yorkshire Panther and me, sat on the sofa, cup of tea, watching late 80s horror films. So that's what we did. So fast forward to today, got in from work, paperwork can wait, the aforementioned terrible weather forecast, not happened. Grab your camera, Tim, get in the car. But I mean, have a look at this. It looks like something out of Rivendell from Lord of the Rings, doesn't it? It's beautiful. There's one sketchy river crossing, and after that, you're home free. If you've got little kids, careful. And I didn't bring the Yorkshire Panther either, because she's that faithful, she'll jump in water to follow me. And I have, hand on heart, had to go in previously to fish her out when she's done just that thing. Naturally, effortlessly beautiful places. This is just the walk up to the waterfalls. I mean, look at this gnarled tree here. How much character's in that? You're too right, we're coming back to shoot that in winter. I'd love to offer some advice on where the best way to cross the river is, but it seems that each time I come, it's different. A little bit sketchier than last time, or not as sketchy as last time, but they're all different. But I'm going to get across, and I've come here before with my boy and my daughter actually, and angry wife came on. She won't come again because mud. Unfortunately he's 15 now, and dad and photography is boring and geeky, and vaping and chasing women's better. What's that corny mantra? It's not the destination, it's the journey. About right, that, isn't it? We're on our way up there, just visible in the distance. So the waterfall looks like it's pouring out to be thundering up there, and I know what you're thinking, probably the same as me. There's no better place to record audio next to a rushing, babbling river. Point of note though, before I can't record audio anymore. Off the back of the last video, I got a comment off James, who said he would really appreciate if I put the metadata from the photographs on. He said he'd find it useful. Now, I've never thought about doing tutorials on here. I think there's a lot of folk on YouTube who already do that. But if the metadata is going to help make you understand the picture better, I'll start doing it. Just for you, James. I did take receipt of my OM1 Mark II this week. I paid for it. No sponsorship, no affiliation. It's out of my pocket. It's what I choose to shoot. I did an unboxing video earlier on this week. Boring. All unboxing videos are boring. I might put it up, I might not. It's a camera coming out of the box. I wanted to shoot that today, but I didn't have it set up in time. So we're back on the EM1 Mark II. I've settled on one camera system, which is OM system, formerly Olympus. And before you switch off, hear me out. I've been taking pictures since 2008. That's what, 18 years. I've shot Sony, shot Nikon, never really dabbled with Canon. I used Fuji. That's not fair, actually. I did shoot their GFX system and I fell in love with that. Could see that coming up in the future. But the point is this, OM system, I always bought as my camera in my pocket. So if I didn't want to take my full frame gear out, like a weekend in London or something, I always took a little OM. And I found over time I was reaching more and more for my OM system. The images that come out are more than suitable for what we need. And people are like, oh, you need a full frame resolution sensor with 61 megapixels, because if you're ever going to shoot a gallery, if I'm ever in the position to shoot a gallery exhibition, I'm sure people will be giving me cameras by that point. It's not going to happen. So the modern OM system, low light performance, phenomenal. Yeah, but it's micro four frames. Yeah, it is. You show me any camera system and you can shoot an image handheld at 12,800 ISO and not get any noise on it. Doesn't exist. You need software help for them all. So what's the difference? It's small, it's fast, it's like blisteringly fast. The new autofocus system, phenomenal, phenomenal. I'm more than happy. The strength of the OM2 made me pack up and sell all my Sony gear. I had an A7 III, an A7R4, fleet of G lenses and a couple of G Masters. Sold them all. And everything you see on this channel going forward, unless stated otherwise, will be shot on micro four frames. Caveat, not everything you see. I'll have images from Scale the Force files, which I want to share with you. There's a story with that as well, I'll go into that in a minute. But that was shot on an A7R4. That's why we come out. You see these branches here? It strikes me that somebody were taking pictures where I'm stood and they've cut them off. Looks really natural, that, doesn't it? Move around a lot. You've only got a small area to move in here. Otherwise you're going to go on with 20 images all look the same. I can feel the spray, so I think I'm going to leave that on. So that was on an ND64 filter, and that gave me an exposure of 2.5 seconds. I just meter it, see what it's saying for exposure-wise, evaluative, full scene. And I kind of adjust there, but use your histogram, use your eyes, look at it, you'll see what's blown out and what's not in focus or what's in shadow. But the reason I'm stepping my filter to a lighter filter is to let more light in. The reason I want to set more light in is so that I can shorten my shutter time. If you take away nothing from any video I ever do, remember this, when it comes to waterfalls and flowing water, 1/4 of a second or thereabouts is where the magic starts to happen. Over a second you get that lovely ethereal cloudy water coming down. It's great. I'm going to stop talking, I'm going to start shooting, and I'll show you the pictures after. I'm going to come and put you away because it don't look much, but this spray is all over the place. That's another thumbs up for OM. Weather sealed or water sealed, or they've got an IP rating. Useful. Isn't it beautiful? Sometimes just being out is enough. Even if all photos today are a bust in Lightroom, just being here, I'm happy enough. Now then, it's just occurred to me, I waffled on earlier on about the Scale Before story. As I was climbing out of there, you know, kind of thing I'd shout at the kids for doing. Occurred to me, I haven't told you yet. So, gone over to Scale to shoot this waterfall. And it's one of those waterfalls that people describe it and go, oh, you should be... If you can't find that waterfall, you probably shouldn't be driving in the first place. It's literally park over a wall, over a hill, and you're there. And I've been shooting it, got the best of the light, and I was like, yeah, this has been amazing. I've got the whole place to myself. Wonderful, you know, wonderful. For landscape photography dream. I'm starting to pack up, and I look up, and there's a bank. And the bank goes up and overlooks the waterfall. So I'm like, yeah, got some nice images from up there. I'm going, and I did on my drone at the time. Pack my gear up, scampers up this hill, and I get some pictures I want. Lovely, cracking. I'm going to put one of the pictures up here, probably during the waffle, so you can have a look at it. Anyway, I start packing up there, and 2 22, 25-year-old ladies come walking in. And I'm like, oh, okay, you know, I'm aware of them, be quiet, be respectful, get out. And then I realised I've got to pass them to get out. And I thought, I don't want to startle them, and I don't make them jump, so I was like, And they turn around, oh, hi, yeah. I says, hi. And he's like, what are you doing? I said, just doing photography, just packing up. And then, oh, right. And I noticed they had towels and stuff for them. And I said, oh, you're doing a bit of wild swimming? They were like, yeah. I'm like, and you can see on the photograph, the colours, it were like October time. I was like, must be cold. Anyway, I just said to her, you must be crazy. She said, oh, why didn't you come in? Have you ever tried it? And I said, quite honestly, I've thought about it, but the last thing I need is another hobby. That was it. I made my way down. And she just said, well, you can come in if you want. And just took her top off. Now, I was just like, oh, what are these oak trees? You know, where are the conkers? The conkers were out, that was the problem. But I stood there and I was like, oh, but bless her, she was so confident in herself. She obviously went to the gym, worked out, and she was super attractive and she knew it. Good luck to her, she was dead nice with it. And I just thought, I envy that kind of thing. Now, if I'd have been on my A game, if that had been today, I'd have said to her, what about, could we do some art photographs? You know, you in the waterfall and beautiful backgrounds, and you know, TFP, time for prints. My portfolio goes up by a picture and I'll get you a frame, print or a canvas, whatever you want for you. I didn't think. I just said, you know, I'd love to tell this story like I'm a heroic masculine crocodile Dundee, like, hey, baby. I honestly went, I'm going up my dinner. And she said, I don't mind, carry on. Now, no good would come from those pictures. If my angry wife saw them or my mates, the only thing that would happen would be very awkward questions, and rightly so. I know she was cool, she was happy, but it was one of those moments as a grown man, I was just like, oh God. For fullness of disclosure, let me just remind you, at this point in time, I've probably been married about 12, 13 years, and I'd kind of got it through my head that the only naked woman I'd ever see again would be an angry one. And don't get it wrong, I know she wasn't about to hit on me. Look at this. I'm aware. I know George Clooney or William Bradley Pitt and I are not going to be sharing a Nespresso anytime soon on an advert. And while we're on the subject of stories, the same kind of thing happened again. We were shooting in the Lake District, kind of a boys' photography weekend away. For whatever reason, they went to Ambleside, you know who you are. And I had the day to myself kind of on day one, so I went to scope this place out. And at this point in time, Borrowdale Pier was still open, this rickety old pier that looks out of the lake. It's an iconic picture, everyone's seen it. But I haven't shot it. I thought, I'll go and get one of those in the bag. So I sets up and I shoots this picture and I get it in the bag. And as I'm packing up, I'm looking over my shoulder and there's a young lad, be 21, 22, obviously, you know, very in shape, very white teeth as well. And his girlfriend were there, same thing, very attractive lass, very much in shape, you know, cosmetics and whatnot. And I just said, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were waiting, I'll get out your way. And they're like, oh, no, it's no problem, no problem. And I'd literally got off the pier, set foot down, turned round, and this lass had jumped on the pier and gone, whoop, and it appeared like in the morning light she was wearing nothing apart from 2 strips of black electrician tape that went from shoulder to crotch to shoulder. I didn't know where to put myself. The lad was like, oh, it's all right, we do this, you know, we get loads of millions. I'm sure you do get lots of followers, but clearly aimed at the 21-year-old red-blooded gym goer, but not for a 23-year-old like me. This is Waterfall video number 2. I've had a cracking evening, afternoon, evening out. As my granddad would say, God rest his soul, I'm as happy as a dog with 2 tiddlers. I've put the pictures in the video on the way through as going to be the new normal, I think. I'll put the metadata in for James. Hope it helps, pal. As always, you know it's coming. It's better outside.